Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in for another one of my videos. Just a few additional comments on some of the boots I've been showing you lately, really with a bit more information on them. I realise that I tend to rush these things so fast I don't really prepare and give you all the info that you need really. So just the first thing on the Bowie Shinjuku, I thought I'd do a little comparison with this Bones and Doogie release, because they're both double albums, but they actually have quite different stuff on them. Now, when I did my review of this, I think I explained that it's got it's the show from the 10th of April. And don't think it's quite the complete show, but the last track is Suffragette City, and then they add it with some bonus tracks: Drive-In Saturday, My Death from the Russell Harty show in the UK on the 17th of January 73, and then Suffragette City from Imperial College London 72. So that makes up 4 sides double album on that. Now Bones and Doogie have done something slightly different. Whilst the majority is from the 10th of April Shinjuku show, they've mixed it up with 2 other tapes. So what I've done, I've written down here the the differences. So on the Bones and Doogie, you get all of the 10th of April show that's on the Pigs on the Groove version, except for Space Oddity, Gene Genie and 5 Years. So those tracks from the 10th of April aren't on this one. But what they give you in replace of that is the following. So from the 8th of April show, which again was Shinjuku, Colours and Nine-Can Hall, all these tracks: Panic in Detroit, Aladdin Sane, Space Oddity, Gene Genie, Time, 5 Years and Starman. So a whacking load of additional tracks from that other show, and the recording's almost equivalent in quality. In fact, I'd say there's barely any difference in sound quality. Really good audience recordings. And then in addition on this one you also get band intro, Rock and Roll Suicide and Round from the show at Shibuya Public Hall, Tokyo on the 20th of April. And they're again quite decent audience recordings, not as good as the other 2, but quite decent. And Round I think is a very unusual track, so that's just to sort of compare the differences. So it's worth having both if you're wondering. And the sound quality on the 10th April shows is equivalent. They're as good as each other. So they're both great releases, and obviously slightly different coloured vinyls. So I just wanted to run through that. A quick comment on this Floyd Vancouver 75 triple that came out. It is a lovely thing, but as everyone's commented, they've got the date wrong on here. They put August the 4th 75, and it was a bit baffling to me initially as to why they would do that and get that wrong. But it's quite obvious when you think about it, because in America they put their dates in a different order to what they do in Europe and England. So whilst over here we would say 4th of August 1975, in America they always say August 4th 1975. So I think at some stage somebody's given the date to the people who've done the sleeve, and probably put 8/4/75, meaning 8th April 1975, and they've read it as August 4th 1975. So I think that's what's happened there, which is a bit of a shame, but it's a great bootleg nevertheless. And a couple of other points when I was showing you these the other day. I hadn't really picked up on the fact that what they've done for this, they've actually used the rare version of the sleeve as the insert. So it says Pink Floyd, The Passing of the Comet, The Coming of Kohoutek. Well, the standard version of this obviously is in celebration of the comet, but a limited number were pressed using that title originally in the 70s. So it's quite a nice touch that they've used the rare version on this reissue, and I didn't pick up on that originally when I was talking about it. And then finally on the Floyds of London, I should have really said that I never had this originally, but it did come out in the 70s in this form, but it was never an official corniphone release. I think it came out on Contraband Music CBM, and then somebody decided to make it up to look like a corniphone release. They're using the same text sort of style and the Tackrell girl and cat image there, but it's not, Tackrell 15 there, it's not a proper corniphone release. So we don't know who it was that did that, but they did it in the 70s, and they've just reused that that insert for this reissue, which again is a nice touch. And whilst I'm just having a few words, I thought I'd say a bit more about this Yes Wembley thing, because it's become pretty obvious that this wasn't an authorised thing, so it's more than likely going to get pulled, which is a shame, but in a way it's not, because if you're going to do this, it's got to be done properly, and it beggars belief really as to why somebody would put this out in this form. If it's not a bootleg, I mean, we know what the bootleggers do, but nobody's touched Yes on the bootleg front, for certainly on the vinyl front, for donkey's years. So yeah, very, very odd. I mean, you assume that it's had some sort of authorised approval, albeit, a bit like these grey area things. I mean, these things, the Boston came out, there's 2 double albums on this Parachute label. I mean, who authorised that? I mean, is it authorised by anybody? No idea how these things happen, but nobody seems to moan or complain about those, and they're quite nice to have as collector's items, I suppose, but they're still a bootleg in anything other than name, but they seem to be able to get away with doing it, so perhaps they just thought the Wembley thing would be the same. But anyway, as an update, it's clearly not an official thing approved by anybody in the band or the management or the record label or even the BBC. So we'll see what transpires. But so just be warned if you're thinking of ordering it. I don't know whether it's still up on the website, but there you go. And so just wanted to say those little bits and pieces today, and then we'll carry on with the A to Z project, and there'll be more to show you soon, I'm sure. So thanks for watching. See you next time.